Hi, everybody. So, this is a guy talking about Grand Canyon and some of the stuff that happened over there with the Egyptian connection. I just wanted to show this little clip right here.
Maybe Elon Musk is going to show up and be met with an army of Martian soldiers ready to defend
So,
their
shout out
homeland.
to this
Maybe we
guy,
should do a
Barry
little more
Stepp.
probing first. This is a really fun theory.
The Smithson family and the history of the Smithsonian Institute is something that we never talk too much about. There's just incredible underground storage vaults in the Smithsonian Institute where they kind of, it's like I call it informational Area 51. Cavern system was uncovered in the bottom of the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon was actually not a small river carving it through millions of years. The fact is, with the Uinta Basin, all the inland ocean that was all part of that, something cataclysmic happened, fracturing of the rock around the time of 30 AD that caused a massive amount of water to go out over a short period of time and carve the Grand Canyon out. There's plenty of evidence of that. Major Powell did his first expedition down the Grand Canyon. Everybody thought he was crazy as a loon. You know, there's this one-armed major was lost his arm in the Civil War, coming down in the 1870s. They mapped this great river. They thought he would never make it out. If you look at the Powell Museum there in Page, Arizona, there's little boats and they go over the cataracts and the massive amount of water. It was an amazing feat. He survived, as we know. He had a Native American Navajo guide that basically took him down, not expecting to even know if he'd survive the trip. Powell wrote everything in his report to Congress, and he explains what he found looking up at this cave, which was quite a ways up from where the river was flowing in 1870s. And as the explanation went, he went up into it, was able to rock climb up to there's like a keyhole opening that was not natural. It was absolutely carved. And he went in and was shocked with what they found. Egyptian artifacts galore inside. So he didn't have time, of course, to do a full-scale excavation, but in his report to Congress, he made mention of it. Well, that, of course, garnered the attention of the Smithson family, and the Smithsonian Institute sponsored a second trip through, this time loaded with photography equipment to document what was in there. And so the Smithsonian Institute went in there and, my goodness, took all kinds of pictures. And instead of going on down the river, they actually hiked up to the top of the rim and went overland from there to map that out. Okay, that's part of the unknown history of the early expeditions of the Grand Canyon. A guy named G.E. Kincaid, who is an employee of the Smithsonian Institute, he's survived the Great War, comes in, and he's funded by Smithsonian to go back in cavern system. So Kincaid does that, goes in under the disguise of mineral exploration, prospecting, okay, and he locates the exact same Powell cave, goes in with his photography equipment, and brings out a massive amount of precious metal artifacts. Comes up over the top. He's so excited about what he's found, he makes a front page headlines. Amazing find in the Grand Canyon. News articles on my blog, which was all from, again, the Smithsonian Institute. Well, my blog was shut down and erased, actually, in December of 2019. A lot of people, oh wow, this is fantastic information, Doc. I just post them. So the question that people ask me is, where'd you get these pictures? Well, I had he's now deceased, so I can talk about him now. A friend named Dr. Melvin Laney in Washington, D.C. had high-level security clearance, and he had full unfettered access to the Smithsonian's archives. He sent me this information tied into what I'm working in the property here in Utah. another story for another time. But it tied in, most definitely ties in, this story of G.E. Kincaid and the amazing discoveries at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. PowerPoint presentation to the people who want to come and see this. I think it's interesting.
Smithsonian says now that never did happen, but you got into the actual archives. You've got actual documentation.
It's an amazing, jaw-dropping story. Let me just give you some hints of what we're going to be showing. Massive amounts of mummies, and the big thing is, Terry, is there were thousands and thousands of panels of Egyptian hieroglyphics that have been interpreted, and what it tells the story of, which should rewrite all the world's history, frankly. Because it's none other than the biblical Joseph of Egypt and his history. It answers the question, really. It was more than just a deal with Potiphar's wife that elevated Joseph to be the most powerful vizier, and second only to the Pharaoh himself. It tells the story of how he ascended to, and why he was able to bring all the grains and survive the famines that went on. It's all in the history of this cave in the bottom of the Grand Canyon. It's an amazing story.
Does anyone know this?
So, I don't know what you think about that, but that is one of the guys who has some proof that G.E. Kincaid actually went into the Grand Canyon, found Egyptian artifacts, or slightly adjacent Egyptian artifacts, because they don't exactly match up with all Egyptian stuff or Tibetan stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Peace.